Welcome back, guys. It's been a minute, so I'm doing full screen recording right now, and I'm kind of nervous because I don't want to reveal anything that I shouldn't, essentially. But a lot has happened. Oh my god, it's been 3 weeks since we last talked, and a lot has happened to me in that amount of time. The biggest one is that I actually traded my first prop firm, and as you may have noticed from the title, I actually failed my first prop firm, which is crazy. So we're gonna go through the story behind that, what happened, what did I learn from it, what am I doing now, and how I'm going to be moving forward. So essentially what happened is that I got a $150,000 prop firm from the community that I'm in. I won it in a prize, and I thought, okay, cool. My back testing results have been pretty okay. Hold on. So my back testing results have been pretty good. So I started this new session in 2020, and this was more so. Actually, I'll get into that because it actually goes into what I'm doing currently right now. But essentially, I started a new session called win rate because I wanted to definitively figure out my win rate. So I started a fresh session, and as you can see, between 2024 June and July, I have been basically at like a 70% win rate, fluctuating between like 69, 65, and 70%. And I started this one recently, the one that you just saw a while ago. And this is, I believe, was it timed or tested? I don't remember. It was in 2020. Yeah, so this one, I started this fresh, and as you can see, I was at like a 50. I started really bad, to be honest. As you can see, I got two losses here, and I think this was a loss and a win. So this week was kind of rough. So my win rate was like 40%, but then I went into this week, and it's been pretty good. And then these are I think I took these back testing trades yesterday, so this added on to the win rate. And as you can see, it went up from 40% to 62%, and I think I should be able to get it to 70%. So as you can see, I'm relatively operating between, I wouldn't even say 50%, like more like 60 or 65 and 70%, assuming I don't tilt and do anything that I shouldn't do. But yeah, so I was having these results, and I was like, okay, I think I am ready to trade a prop firm, and I got this. My plan was to trade a prop firm by now, anyways. So I was like, it was really good that I didn't have to foot the bill for my first prop firm, and it was a $150,000 account. And I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. If I pass this account and I get a payout, I'll be getting a payout of like $4,000. And I was like, okay, this is great. And I was really going to like take it slow. I did all the math and everything. I was planning to take it really slow and not risk 1%. I was planning to risk like 0.3%. So it would take like 10 trades for me to actually blow the account. So I was planning to be extremely conservative. But what ended up happening is that this was last week, so not this past week, like the last week of April. This is when I was trading the account. So I started Monday, and I ended up starting off with two losers, I believe. And then by Wednesday, I had blown the account, which is, yeah, which is really crazy. I think it was because I had already started off bad, and I was just getting really upset because I was just like, I obviously know what I'm doing. My backtesting results say I know what I'm doing. I'm not even like trying to, and it's not like, yeah, you can say psychology may be an aspect of it, and I do think that does play a part, but I was pretty mechanical in my approach. And I'll go over where I think I went wrong, and anyways, I'll get to it. But basically, I ended up blowing the account, and I was just like, okay, wow, okay, that happened. I was like, that happened. And immediately after I blew it, I ended up buying another one, which was a very smaller account, a very much smaller account, because I was like, okay, wow, that was crazy. Let's just buy a small account, not even a 50K, like just a 25K, because I was like, let's start with smaller capital, and like, let's just go from there. I still have this account actually, and I've taken two trades on it so far, which were two losses, but they're small. I'm being conservative, like I was planning to do with the $150,000 account. But after blowing that account and then taking two losses on this new account, I was like, it was kind of like red flags in my head. I was like, alarms are going off, like, okay, whoa, 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 whoa. I need to slow down. Clearly, there's something that's going on here. And if I'm not careful, I'm going to end up blowing multiple accounts and wasting so much money. So I need to address what is going on right now. So basically what I believe it has come down to is a mixture of honestly some psychological stuff. Google Docs. Let's do this. I hope I don't dox myself, bro. I'm really praying I don't dox myself. Okay. Cool. Okay. I I don't think I dox myself. So kind of like, why did I start that? So what should I title this? Like, where was I going wrong? Where did I go wrong? Did I go wrong? So just to make myself clear, my strategy does work. My strategy does work. I do know what I'm doing. Because my backtesting is remaining consistent. When I'm in backtesting, I feel very comfortable with what I'm doing. And I just have like market feel. Like I just know kind of where the market's gonna go. Not to say that I'm correct every time, that's not the case, but I just have really good market feel. If you know what I'm talking about, like there's just people that just have a feeling of where the market's gonna go, and I kind of have that. But based on what I've noticed from trading live these last 2 weeks, is it's definitely there is some psychological things going on here. And I don't really think, I don't want to say it's a big aspect for me because I do try to be very mechanical. There are criteria that I do try to have with each and every trade. But I think one of the biggest aspects was like FOMO. I think that's one of the biggest things that I realized I was creeping into my trading. Like for example, I'd be waiting for a continuation. So like an order block to be closed over to take an entry to enter my trade, and sometimes before the candle even close, it would like be like, let's say like I want to take longs, right, and the candle that I'm waiting to close is like very very bullish, but and I'm like, oh my god, it's just gonna run, but it has 30 seconds left in the candle, but I'm like, oh, it's gonna close bullish, and then I'll enter only for that candle to close like bearish, and then I'm in drawdown. I didn't wait for the candle to close. So that's like one thing that I saw creeping into my trading was the FOMO, not waiting for candles to close, entering prematurely. So that was a big thing. And I think I have I have so far corrected this. I do not enter unless the candle closes or unless there's like 5 seconds left in the candle. Like it literally has to be about to close. It can't be 30 seconds left. It can't be 15 seconds left because anything can happen in the last 5 seconds. So it has to be like I only enter on that candle that's about to close if it's like 5 or 3 seconds left in the candle, and that's when I'll enter. I've been working on this. This is kind of like a hard thing that I try not to do. One thing that's also been entering my trading is hesitation. As you know, I trade a expansionary model, so I try to trade expansions, as you know. And if the candle's going to expand, it's going to expand very fast. And I realize one other aspect that I've been doing is that I've been hesitating and I can't. So once I get the mechanical closure that I'm looking for, I have to enter. That is just a rule. I have to enter. Even if the fill is not the best, you can get on a like a limit, you can get in on a limit order like a tap. Obviously that's more risky because it might just run without you. So the best way to avoid this is really just to be as mechanical as possible and just take a mechanical entry and do not hesitate. Like that's just a hard rule. As soon as you get like the closure, just enter, you know what I mean? So not entering mechanically, I guess. Mechanically. And then another thing that you don't really realize when you're backtesting is that backtesting is really great for testing the strategy. And I read this quote recently is that in backtesting, you're testing the strategy, but in the market is testing you. You know what I mean? And I think that really speaks true to what I've been experiencing, because like when you're backtesting, the candles aren't moving, so you have all of the, even though I do backtest relatively quickly, you don't have that pressure of time when you're backtesting because you can take as long as you want, even though I do backtest relatively quickly. But I think like I just get like this sense of nervousness and like unpredictability when I'm doing my analysis and the candles are moving, even if it's like low volatility. Like I think there's just this subconscious nervousness I get when the candles are just moving, which I'm not used to. Um, and I do think that does affect my overall analysis on a subconscious level. So I'm trying to work on that right now by just being in the market more, trading live every single day. Because as you know, I did trade live like before on a small forex account, and I did trade live paper trading, but that was like off and on. I never really did it consistently for like weeks or months. So, being in the place that I am now, knowing that I have an edge, knowing that my strategy does work, I do think I do need that more live market experience. So, that's what I'm doing. This is my second week fully that I've been trading live, and I will be trading live next week as well. And I'll actually go through what my results this past week look like. And I can show you all those trades that I took. So, we'll go through that towards the end of my explanation. Um, so what was I just talking about? I think I was talking about candles moving. Not used to candles moving. Because as you know, I've been backtesting and studying for a year. Like this, it's May now, so after next week will be a full year. Because I graduated last year, and I started like literally the day after I graduated is when I started grinding trading. Which is crazy to think about because I thought I'd have it down in 4 months. Ho ho ho! Little did I know. So it's been a full year now, and it took me a full year to really master and understand the strategy and be able to get like a relatively decent win rate. Um, but now I realize that I have neglected live trading, which I mean, I'm not really mad at it because I don't really think you should be trading live anyways unless you have an edge because you're just gonna be, I mean, you can do it for the experience, but trading in isolation and understanding your strategy first, I think, is way more beneficial than going into an environment where not only do you not know if your strategy works, but you also have things like emotions and psychological aspects playing a part into it. So I can definitely see how it would take multiple people years to master trading. And I think it's amazing. And I think because I isolated myself, I was able to master it relatively fast in a year. Now it's just this last hurdle that I need to get past, which is some psychological aspects, being a little bit more mechanical, but also getting used to the market. So that leads me into my next thing. What other things have I noticed that have been affecting my like live trading? And I think it's the waiting. Oh my god, the waiting. Oh my gosh. Trading requires so much patience, and I think you guys have heard this one. Did I spell that right? I don't think I spelled patience. That is not how you spell patience. I don't know why it's not autocorrecting. Patience? Is that? I'm pretty sure that's not correct. It's saying it's correct, but I don't think that's correct. That is not how you spell patience. Wait, is it really how you spell patience? Oh my god, I spelled it right. No, I didn't. Bro. I don't know why it's not autocorrecting. Wow. Anyways. Yeah, man, like patience is like one of the, I think this is the biggest thing for me. Like biggest thing is like I'll know what I'm looking for, but I think because it takes like when you're backtesting, you could just go forward and just immediately see what you need to see, but when you're trading live, you're sitting there for hours, like 15 minutes, 30 minutes, hours. You know what I mean? Like multiple hours, and sometimes like you might not see anything, and then you might just put on a trade to put on a trade even when it's the things that you're looking for are not there. And then sometimes the trade will be setting up, I guess, but maybe because I've been waiting so long and I'm just stuck on this one idea, I fail to realize that things have changed, and maybe I should abandon that trade idea and like do a different trade idea. There's just so much, like I think patience is like maybe the biggest factor affecting my trading. And I trade very fluidly. So I don't know, like I think this is the biggest one, but it's just a mixture of everything. It's like patience, it's the hesitation. It's just like I don't know, like it's just I think this is the biggest aspect of it. And sometimes I do miss some things, and I just don't know why. Because usually my analysis is pretty good, and like in back testing, and I know what I need to see, but like I don't know, it just hasn't been. Again, it's only been 2 weeks, and last week, as you know, Trump war stuff affected the markets like crazy. So obviously that played a part in blowing my account as well. Market conditions, obviously. But I don't know. It's just like these are the main things. It's really hard to like understand like because when I backtest, my analysis is good and I know what I need to see, but for some reason when I'm live trading that sometimes gets broken down in a way. I still haven't really figured it out, but I'm gonna figure it out, guys. I don't know. I go into every week with positivity. And I'm just gonna see how it goes. So as of right now, I blew one account. I do have another one, but I'm only trading it when I think the setup is really 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 good. If I know that I'm in a conditions where I still feel confident, but I know that this is a little bit more not A plus, or the conditions can be a little bit all over the place, I won't take it on my prop firm account. So that's kind of where I am right now. I'm not sure if I need to cover anything else, but let me show you what my trades look like this week. So if we're looking at this calendar, the first was Monday. I did not trade Monday, as you can see here, right? So this is the 24th. So that was the Friday. So I did get a win on Friday last week. I did get a win on Friday last week. After actually, I took a win and a loss, unfortunately, and then whoa, actually, hold on a minute. I took 2 wins on Friday, a loss, and then another win. So I did end up positive. Oh, I took a lot of trades on Friday. One, two, three. 3 wins on Friday. I think this was all one trade, but I was taking partials. And then I took a loss, and then I got another win. So, these 3 are all 1 win. So I'm going to count it as 1 win. A loss. I don't know. I think this was stupid. I honestly lost this much because of a patience issue. I didn't completely wait for a candle to close, and I entered prematurely, which is why I took this loss. That's exactly why patience is such a huge thing, because I could have avoided this loss if I had just been patient. And then I took another win. And then on the 28th, which was when? A Saturday? How the hell did I take a trade on a Saturday? Wait, I'm so confused. How the hell did I take a trade on a Saturday? I don't understand. That's a little weird. It's saying I took a trade on a Saturday, but that doesn't make any sense. I don't know what this is then. Why is it saying I took a trade on a Saturday? Wait, am I reading this correctly? Hold on a second. Yeah, I am. Wait. January, March, April. Oh, sorry. Whoa. Oh, there we go. I'm so stupid. Okay. Okay, yeah. So I didn't take a trade on Monday. So then it was Tuesday. So I took a loss on Tuesday, and then I took a win. So I ended up positive on Tuesday. I'm not sure why I took a loss here, to be honest. And then on Wednesday, I took 2 losses, unfortunately, and then I called it a day. And then and then Thursday I took a BE, I took a break even, and then Friday I got a win. I could have held this for 5R. It's actually this trade you're looking at right now. I wanted to hold it up to here, but I just took it at 2R. But yeah, so basically on this particular week I took 3 losses and 2 wins. So 3 losses, 2 wins, and 1 break even, which is not bad. So for this past week, I ended up netting about $100 because I basically broke even this past week. So that was kind of the verdict on this. I could have actually not broken even if I just held this trade up until this high, which is originally what I wanted to do. As you can see, I wanted to hold it up here for 5R, almost 6R, but I just didn't want to like take another loss or get a break even trade, because at this point when it's up here I'm break even, right? So I didn't want to like to take a break even and then or on this trade because of the stats for this week. So I was like, I'd rather just get something than nothing. If I held it, I would have been actually net positive on this week, but it is what it is, right? So that is what I got from live trading this past week. Um so yeah, as you can see, I was in a very rough patch here, which is why I lost a lot of my money. And then I was just being reckless. I think at one point I lost $3,000 because I was being stupid. Yeah, here. Yeah. So I'm trying to recuperate the account and kind of again prove that I can trade live, but also getting that live market experience as well. So yeah, it's kind of crazy that I'm pretty comfortable with what I'm doing. I'm pretty comfortable with my trading strategy at this point. I think I'm definitely at a place where I could try and learn to I could try and push my win rate to 90% because I do know someone that does have a relatively 90% win rate. So I could work on that, but I just feel like at this point, I have the skills, I have the win rate to at least start making some money from trading. So I don't think it makes any sense right now, anyways, to kind of continue to push for a higher win rate when I'm already operating between 50 and 70%. Um, or technically 60% right now. I'd say my win rate is probably more like 60 to 70% win rate, like that, which is more than enough to be a profitable trader. So I'm definitely going to be focusing more on the psychological aspect, getting used to entering and sticking to my rules. Like for example, like when I was taking this trade, this is what I was talking about when I was waiting for the continuation, because this is the reversal, right? And then as soon as this candle closed, you can see I entered on this candle, right? I entered like 3 seconds before this closed. And so that's another change that I've made, being extremely mechanical and disciplined and taking the entry that I'm supposed to take when it's presented and not hesitating, right? So not entering on, I could have entered on this candle as soon as this one closed, but like not entering on this candle, not entering on this candle, not entering on this candle, but entering on this candle that closes above this order block mechanically. So, you know what I mean? And then doing my overall analysis and stuff like that. As you can see, I entered this at 5:40. I can trade any time of the day, guys. I can trade Asia, London, New York. I know when to trade. But obviously, I think trading things like Asia and London a little bit more difficult for me because of the low volatility sometimes. Um, but I don't know, I'm just trying and working and trying to get over this hurdle right now. This is the next biggest hurdle for me. Everything that I've kind of outlined here, FOMO, hesitations, patience is a big one. And getting used to candles moving, to be honest, and not feeling so nervous when they're moving. So right now that's actually what this backtesting session is for, which is why it's called testing, but I think I have one called timing, where I'm trying to like actually play the backtesting at 1x speed or a little bit less than that, to get used to the candles moving, taking mechanical entries when they present themselves, not hesitating, and stuff like that. Like I'm really good with analysis. That's the thing. But I think sometimes when the analysis or like when the trade isn't that obvious, sometimes you do have to wait for things to play out a little bit more. I think that's another thing that I struggle with is like sometimes you can come into the day and know exactly where price wants to go, and then sometimes you can come into the day where it's a little bit not as clear and you need to wait for more like structure, more you need to waiting for more structure, waiting for more information basically. And that's kind of when I struggle sometimes because sometimes, like, if you trade futures specifically, sometimes there might not be a setup until like 9:30 where we put in a manipulation or some people might not understand that terminology, but sometimes we'll sweep out a low and then we'll reverse from there. So sometimes you have to wait until London opens. Sometimes you can see a setup before 9:30. Sometimes you can see a setup before 8:30 news. And sometimes you might see a setup after all that. You might see a setup at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. And, patience does play a really huge part. And I think these are the reasons why I'm struggling so much. It's just patience and sometimes waiting for more structure, waiting for more information, and just being patient and waiting for this stuff to show up to really trust the trade and watch it play out. So you know, I think the fastest way to learn anything, and the reason why I've come so far in a year, basically, because I feel like at the point that I'm at, most people would take like 3 years or longer. It's taken me a year to get to where I am, which I think is incredibly fast. Um, but you know, I think it's just getting through this next hurdle, which is, you know, the patience, waiting for more structure, being more mechanical with my entries, and all that stuff. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. I think the next video I'm gonna do, it will be some back testing, just so you guys can see how I'm trading now. And yeah, honestly, I'm trading the same way as I did in my last videos going over my strategy, but I actually recently have added in some new stuff that actually helped my win rate jump to 60 to 70%, and it's really just filtering. I added more filters to my trading, which has allowed me to avoid taking bad trades, allowed me to not take trades in the wrong direction. And that's pretty much it, man. So, how long is this video so far? It's like 20. That's actually perfect. So we'll end here. So that's kind of, oh, did I talk about what I'm going to be doing going forward? Actually, I kind of did. I'm just going to be paper trading for the next 1 to 2 months. And I'll only be taking trades on my prop firm when they look good. And quite frankly, this trade that I took here, I wanted to take it on my prop firm, but I guess just fear, because my results haven't been so good. Like, I think before this win, I was at 3 losses and 1 win on the week, basically, and 1 break even. So I was just like, with those stats, I don't know if I want to risk it. But I did understand that this trade was very high probability, and I should have just taken it on my prop firm, but I didn't. So this would have been an instance where I would have taken on my prop firm, because it's just so high probability. It just made a lot of sense. The delivery was beautiful. And yeah, man. And as you can see, I do have wins sprinkled out here between I think last week, the 20th. Let's see here. So yeah, after I blew my account on the 15th, on the Wednesday, as you can see, is when I started trading paper. So you can see I did take a loss here, and then I took a win. So a loss and a win on Thursday, right? The Thursday. And then on the 4th, I did take another win. So it's not like I'm just taking losses. I took 2 wins here. I think these were partials. 3 wins, actually. These were all one trade. Okay, yeah. So as you can see, like, it's kind of crazy that after I blew my account, I started getting wins. But yeah, it's not like that's the thing. It's not like I don't know what I'm doing. That's just not the case. It's just some psychological aspects that I have to get past now, and hopefully I can start to like get consistent wins. I do think it's just a matter of time. And once I start getting some wins and finally get like a payout and all that stuff, and I finally have some like decent footing within trading and making consistent profits, I will end up working on how to get a better win rate, how to push my results even further, like to 90%. 90% would be like the pinnacle. Not that I need to get there, but like that would be the pinnacle of trading for me, to be honest. But it's not something that I really need to stress right now. Right now, I just need to focus on the psychological aspect, and just proving that I can do this and make a living out of it. So honestly, with that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Nice talk, guys. It's been 3 weeks. Definitely overdue. And the next video I'll be doing will probably be a backtesting video. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.